Hello everybody. This video goes over horizontal and vertical lines. You don't have to copy this down. This is just my intro page. I just wanted to show you what this looks like. I'll tell you when I want you to write. For example, on the top here, you have a horizontal line. Well, a horizontal line will have a zero slope, and it will be a y== equation, and we'll go over that on the next slide as well. All right, and when you have a vertical line, straight up and down. So vertical lines have an undefined slope. We should know that already. And it's an x=a number equation. So on the next slide, first listen, and then you can pause the video and write it down. So Hoy and Vux are just some acronyms to help us remember these things, okay? And I have it on my wall. Miss Cahill might have it as well, I'm not sure. But Hoy stands for horizontal line, okay? So a horizontal line is going to have a zero slope. We should know that already. And the equation is just going to look like y=a constant, meaning there's no x term. So the example down here, y=5, you can see there's no x term in there, okay? So it would just be y=a number. All right, and then over here, vertical lines, you should know vertical lines have an undefined slope, and it's going to look like x=a constant with no y term. My example here, x=5. X will always equal 5 here. It doesn't matter what y is. We're not going to plug anything in for y, so x will always be a number, whatever that is. So now, please pause the video and copy these two down. Okay, now go ahead and write number 1 down. You can pause the video. To write the equation of each, first we have to find the slope. So here I found the slope of this line. I get 0/3, which is 0. So when I have a zero slope, just from the previous page, we should know a zero slope is going to be a horizontal line, and it's going to be a y= some number. Well, let's see how that actually works. All right, if I know the slope is 0, and I write my equation of a line like we've been doing for this lesson, you write down your y=mx plus b, and then I plug in the things I know. I know the y is 6. I know the slope is 0, and the x is 2. I'm just using this first point here. Okay, and then when I go to solve for b, what happens? Well, I get b is 6. Then I go back and plug in my m and my b into my original equation. So notice 0 is the slope, so really that term goes away. So just I end up with y=6. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, so number 2, please write that down. To find the equation of this one, I need to find the slope, so I plug in my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This time the bottom becomes 0, and I can't do that. I can't divide by 0, so that's where we know it's undefined. The slope is undefined, okay? Here we can't really plug it in to y=mx plus b, because there's nothing to do. So we should already know what this looks like. We should know it's a vertical line on our graph, where x= some number. Well, if you look back at our points, what does x always equal? X always equals 3. So it doesn't matter what y is, okay? X will always equal 3. So that's our equation, x= 3. And if you want to see it graphed, I'll just show you this graph. It's just a vertical line where x is 3. You can sketch yourself a graph of that if you'd like. And you can see the points that I started with here. These 2 points are on this line. 3, 4, 4 would be here, 3, 4 would be there, and 3, 5 would be here. So it doesn't matter. X will always be 3 on this vertical line. Okay. One more thing for you. If we were to just be given the equation and want to graph it, well, You can write down number 1 for me. So if y is 3, there's no x in there, so it doesn't matter what I plug in. If I plug in 1 for x, I still get y is 3. If I plug in 2 for x, I still get y is 3. Y will always be 3. So find on your y-axis, where we have 3, I'll just kind of go up 1, 2, 3. I'm calling this 3 on the y-axis. Well, where is y always 3? It's on this horizontal line. Oops. Okay. So we have the point 0, 3 right there. We have, I'll call this a 1, 3, a 2, 3, a 3, 3. Y is always 3. It doesn't matter what I plug in. Okay. Pause the video, see if you can do the rest of these. There's 4 questions. Okay, x equals 3. We just graphed that on the previous page. So you find where x equals 3. We'll call that there, and it's a vertical line for x to always be 3. Okay, y equals 5. Just find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, right here. There's y equals 5, and this time it's a horizontal line for y to always be 5. And for x to always be 5, again, we have a vertical line.